Oral fluid sampling is an effective tool for swine health monitoring. It can be used to detect the presence of a disease agent and the antibody response within a population and to monitor how pathogenic agents and diseases circulate in swine populations. Oral fluid samples can be used to detect a current or recent infection with PRRS virus, PCV2, swine influenza, and other infectious agents. Oral fluid samples can also be used to help assess vaccine compliance. Using cotton ropes to collect oral fluid samples from swine can be a quick and easy addition to your herd health monitoring practices. Cotton ropes can be used to collect samples from individual pigs or groups of pigs, depending on your diagnostic and surveillance needs. The supplies needed are easy to acquire and affordable. You will want to use undyed cotton rope. Cotton is highly absorbent and does a good job of capturing the fluid. You will want to use half-inch rope for nursery-size pigs and 5/8" rope for large finisher pigs. In most cases, you can simply tie the rope to the pen dividers, but in some cases, you may want to use some type of bracket to secure the rope and prevent larger pigs from working the rope loose and contaminating your sample. You will want to have cutting tools like a posting knife and a good pair of shears or scissors. You will need clean plastic bags or similar containers to receive the fluid when you extract it from the ropes. If you are collecting larger amounts of fluid, you may want to consider using a wringer to help extract the fluid from the ropes. If you use a wringer, have paper towels and alcohol to disinfect the wringer between uses. Other supplies include gloves, snap cap or screw top tubes, and a marker for labeling bags and tubes. Be sure the tubes you use do not contain any additives, such as EDTA and heparin. And if you use glass blood tubes, only use the red top tubes. Keep all your supplies in a storage container where the contents will stay clean and dry. Start by determining the length of rope you will need. You'll want your sample ropes long enough to reach the level of the pig's shoulders when it is secured. Select a clean area of the pen that is easily accessible and away from water or feed, and simply tie the rope to the pen divider. Unravel the cording of the rope to promote access for several pigs. If you have to secure the rope to something other than a pen divider, be sure it is solid and won't cause damage as the pigs pull on the rope. Do not tie ropes to feed tubes, water pipes, and electrical conduit or gas pipes. If you are having trouble securing your ropes, you may want to consider brackets. Here are a couple examples of brackets used to secure sample ropes. If you use a bracket to secure the rope, be sure they are removed or positioned safely out of the way to prevent injuring the pigs when you are not sampling. For smaller nursery-sized pigs, you can use the individual strands from a large cord of rope to accommodate the smaller-sized pigs. In most cases, a single rope will provide a sufficient sample in 20 to 30 minutes with an active group of pigs. To speed up the collection process or to assure broader sampling, you can place more than one rope in a pen. To collect samples for testing, the oral fluid needs to be extracted from the ropes and placed in sample tubes on farm. The ropes themselves are not sent to the diagnostic lab because they can dry out in the process, making testing impossible. When you are ready to extract the fluid from the ropes, be sure to wear gloves to handle the sample portion of the ropes. There are several methods you can use to extract fluid from ropes. One method is to leave the rope connected to the pen divider. Place your plastic bag or other collection container over the wet end of the rope and squeeze the fluid down the length of the rope to the end with your gloved hand. Another method is to cut the rope free. Place the soaked end in a plastic bag and extract the fluid from the rope by squeezing the outside of the bag. If you are collecting the ropes before extraction, be sure to keep the ropes from different pens or individual pens separated, and do not pool the extracted fluid samples together. In either case, once you have the fluid in the bag, you can cut open a corner of the bag and drain the fluid into your sample tube. You will need a minimum of 2.5 milliliter per sample. Also, be sure to properly label each of your sample tubes. Regardless of the method, you want to be sure you are able to collect and catalog sufficient samples without contaminating the fluid. When you are finished with each sampling, Be sure to remove all the ropes from the pens and discard all of your used ropes, bags, and gloves. Clean and disinfect your tools and be sure any bracketing devices are safely away from the pigs to prevent injury. At times, you may need to collect a larger amount of oral fluid. This is true if you are dividing a collection into multiple aliquots to freeze and conduct multiple tests at a later date using the original aliquots. To help you extract larger amounts of fluid from ropes, you may want to consider using a wringer. A wringer needs to be disinfected between uses and when moved between sites. To clean the wringer, use a spray bottle containing alcohol and paper towels. Spray the paper towel and the wringer with alcohol. Then feed the paper towel through the wringer to ensure all areas of the wringer are covered in alcohol. Only wring out the wet portions of the sample ropes. Dry portions of rope will absorb fluid and lessen the amount collected. To start, place the sample ropes evenly in a large-size plastic bag and be sure none of the rope is wadded up. Feed the bag of wet rope through the wringer at an angle, slowly. If it is done too fast, the bag will fill with air pressure and may break. As the bag moves upward through the wringer, the fluid will gather at the bottom of the bag. Tip the corner of the bag up and cut an opening in the corner to drain the fluid from the bag. Before you ship samples to a lab, be sure they are going to a diagnostic laboratory that uses optimized assays for oral fluid. Be sure to send the samples on the same day they were collected. Samples for PCR testing or antibody detection may be frozen and sent at your convenience. Samples for shipments to a laboratory must be prepared following the same federal guidelines required for shipment of all biologicals. To do this, pack the samples with an absorbent material in a plastic bag to prevent leaks. Next, seal the samples in a biological shipping bag. Then, place the sample package and ice packs in an insulated shipping box that is leak-proof and lined with plastic. Finally, include the correct paperwork indicating the samples are oral fluid for testing. Most often, pigs will naturally chew on the rope. However, some pigs may be disinterested at first. Reluctant pigs can be trained using several different methods. Once familiar with the rope, the pigs should look forward to future collections. One method is to place sections of rope on the floor of the pens for the pigs to get familiar with. Put knots in the rope so they don't fall through the slats or get pulled apart. After the pigs have become active with the practice ropes, remove those and introduce your sample ropes. Another method is soaking ropes with apple juice or sugar solution. This does a great job of attracting pigs to the ropes. Again, after they have become used to the flavored ropes, try your sample ropes. Do not use the flavored ropes for sampling. Also, consider these tactics to improve sampling. Sample in the morning. Pigs are more active in the morning, so they may be more likely to chew on the ropes. Try different pens. If you notice a pen is not very active with the ropes, place ropes in other pens at the same time to see if that helps. For more information or questions on how to conduct rope sampling, you can contact the following: